In every family, there is a pillar, a soul whose strength, though often unseen, holds everything together. This is the story of Gabriella, a woman whose treasure was peace, whose strength was faith, and whose life proved that resilience can rebuild even the most shattered dream. Gabriella had always been a woman of quiet strength. Born with a heart of gold and the discipline of a soldier, she knew that hard work was the ladder to a better life. Her dream was never just about herself, it was about creating a legacy, a peaceful home where her children could flourish. When she met Daniel, he was charming, ambitious, and full of big dreams. He spoke passionately about engineering, about designing bridges and buildings that would outlive generations. Gabriella admired his fire, his optimism, his laughter that filled every space. Love blossomed between them, and soon they became inseparable. Two souls with different strengths, but one vision of a beautiful future. The journey wasn't easy at first. Daniel struggled to secure permanent work, often moving from one short term contract to another. Bills piled up, and sometimes Gabriella would come home to find him frustrated, staring into the empty air, wondering if his degree had been in vain. But Gabriella never gave up on him. Her breakthrough came when she landed a respectable job at a reputable bank. Her diligence, integrity, and intelligence quickly caught the attention of her superiors. She was promoted steadily, and along the way, she gained access to networks and opportunities. When Daniel wanted to start a business, she used her banking knowledge and connections to secure a loan and even introduced him to key clients who would later fuel his company's growth. Life turned golden. Their once small rented house gave way to a beautiful home of their own, echoing with the laughter of their five children. They traveled, shared dreams, and built memories. To Gabriella, this was peace, her treasure. But slowly, cracks began to show. Daniel, once the humble dreamer, began staying out late. Business meetings turned into unexplained absences. He grew impatient with Gabriella, dismissive of her advice, and sometimes cruel with his words. Rumors whispered of another woman, but Gabriella brushed them aside, convincing herself that stress was simply weighing on her husband. Until one night, the argument began with something small, Daniel forgetting a family gathering. But it escalated, her words flying like daggers, old wounds exposed. That night, Gabriella's instincts forced her to seek answers. What she discovered shattered her heart. Daniel had been living a double life, another family hidden in the shadows of his success. The betrayal burned deep. For days, Gabriella couldn't eat. She stared at the ceiling at night, her tears soaking the pillow. How could the man she loved, the father of her children, the one she lifted with her own hands, betray her? So, but Gabriella was not a woman to be destroyed. One morning, she rose before dawn, wiped her tears, and whispered a prayer. Peace is my treasure, and God will guide me. She decided to start anew, not with revenge, but with determination. She tightened her belt, secured small savings, and ventured into her own business. It was not easy. There were nights she and her children slept on mattresses with little food, days when creditors knocked at her door, and moments when loneliness pressed heavily on her chest. Yet each time, Gabriella found strength in her children's eyes. Their laughter, their trust, their innocent questions gave her courage. Slowly, her business began to grow. She was resilient, disciplined, and clever, and just as she had been in banking. Her clients admired her honesty and her ability to deliver. Her name carried weight. Meanwhile, Daniel's empire, though vast, began to falter. Without Gabriella's quiet hand guiding his path, his arrogance and reckless choices led him into losses. The very contacts she had introduced slipped away, disappointed by his unfaithfulness in business as in marriage. Years passed, and Gabriella's star only grew brighter. She built not just one house, but several properties, creating security for her children. Her children thrived, each one blessed with her resilience and wisdom. And when Daniel looked back one day, older and worn by regrets, he realized that Gabriella had always been the pillar, the true star who had carried the family. But by then it was too late. Gabriella's life became a testimony. She spoke to other women, encouraging them never to lose themselves in someone else's shadow. She told her children that peace, faith, and hard work are treasures no one can steal. Her story was not one of bitterness, but of victory. A reminder that even when betrayal breaks you, God's hand can rebuild you stronger, brighter, and unstoppable. Thank you for watching this story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.